Hi guys, today I'm going to film for you my updated skincare routine. This is what I would use normally in the winter time, and strange setup right now, but my skincare routine starts with a bath, and so here we are. Weird. But I have my conditioner on my hair right now because that's generally when I start my skincare, because I want to leave my conditioner on for as long as possible, and so I then kind of kick off my cleansing and all that stuff while that's happening to give it time to work. So the first thing that I use is this Vitamin E Hot Cloth Cleanser from Superdrug, which is fantastic. It's brilliant for the money, it does the job, and it's nice and thick. So obviously it's going to take off my makeup really well, but it's also going to work kind of if you've got very, very dry skin or in the winter time. This is going to be a great product. So I use that to take off my makeup. I've actually already taken off most of my face makeup, but my eye makeup is all smudgy now. So we will take that off as well. But it just feels really nourishing and it doesn't leave a residue, which is the biggest thing for me. I hate cleansers that leave a real like oily, greasy residue on my face. Okay, so that's my initial cleanse, and I have been a little bit rough on my skin because I've got some kind of little breakouts threatening and little kind of rougher patches because again it is winter time, and so that's what I use my flannel for, kind of almost as an exfoliant as well, because I no longer use my Tonic. I don't use kind of scrubs very often, very occasionally, but not very often. If I get a facial scrub now, I generally use it for my body, and so that's how I exfoliate my face, with my flannel. But the next step that I'm going to use, which it is here, is this, which is the Peaches and Clean Cleanser is the word I'm looking for, from Soap and Glory, which I've mentioned at length. You've probably heard me talk about it before. I don't use it as a cleanser anymore, but while I'm in this kind of stage of leaving my hair with a conditioner in it, probably shaving my legs, etc., I'll put one pump of this on my face as kind of a mask. So I just kind of rub it in, and I've been known to put this on my face and leave it on overnight. I'm not sensitive to this at all, however it can make some people's skin a little bit red and tender, so just kind of be careful of that. And it can tingle. First few times I used it, it did leave me kind of a little bit red. It did tingle when I first used it, but it doesn't anymore. I'm kind of immune to that, but it still does work. It really smooths my skin, and any little threatening breakouts, I have a few on my chin because I epilated my chin. I have kind of these odd hairs on my chin, and I pluck them obviously as you normally would. But I got an epilator, and I hate using the epilator for my legs. It just doesn't seem to work. And so I used it on my chin. I thought it must work, and it does. It's amazing. But then I did get a few breakouts, as I used to when I used to thread a lot as well. But anyway, TMI. That's what I'm using this for at the moment. Just try and get rid of any little bumpy bits on my forehead. I get a lot. Any spots that are threatening to come through, and they just kind of go away when I use this. But like I say, some people are very sensitive to this, so it might have completely the opposite effect. So do be careful, but it works for me. My skin isn't sensitive, it's quite oily, and yeah, if your skin is very, very dry or sensitive, this might not be suitable. But this is what I do next, and then I rinse that off with a flannel, and I start my kind of regular skincare outside of the cleansy water bath section of my skincare routine. Okay, so I'm out of the tub now, and I'll just address a question because I think I'm going to get it already, about the Soap and Glory Peaches and Clean. I generally would leave it on my face for probably 10 or 15 minutes while I'm in the bathtub, but like I say, I can leave it on overnight. You may be more sensitive, leave it on for like a minute, or just use it as a regular cleanser initially and just see how you go. The next step in my routine is some kind of toner or toner-esque product. The one I'm using at the moment is this Pixi Glow. The reason I'm using this is because I'm trying to use it up. I actually quite like the idea of keeping this because it's quite basic, and I'll probably use it for something else. I might try and make my own toner. You know, there's toner tabs that you can get from Lush. I might try and kind of dissolve one of those in this and just see what happens. But this is the one that's supposed to be smoothing with the glycolic acid, I believe. And I have been using the Botanics one. That has got alcohol in it, so it could dry out your skin. Not a problem for me if I use it just once a day. And this is kind of a little bit more gentle, but the price point is massive. So if you don't mind the alcohol, I would go for the Botanics All Bright one. Whereas if you are sensitive to alcohol, or you don't, if you've got dry skin already, you might want to try this. And it is very, very nice. It's just the reason I wouldn't repurchase because I found something that works just as well for me. It's a lot cheaper. So a couple of splashes of that on my cotton pad, and I just kind of refresh and get rid of anything that might be left over from my cleanser. In the morning time, can you hear my watch? It's rattling. In the morning time, I generally just do this step and maybe a serum or a light moisturiser. I don't do a whole full cleanse and all that jazz, because let's face it, I don't have time. I know I should, but I don't. And people always ask, what is your morning skincare routine? Nothing. I don't do anything. My next step is eye cream, and I have a few different ones that I've been trying, and depending on how dry my face feels and if I want a nourishing hit, I do have a peptide one from the Sanctuary that I love. But at the moment I've been using this one. It's Ren Active 7 Radiant Eye Gel. I have bits, like fibres from the cotton pads all over my fingernails now. Anyway, this Active 7 Radiant Eye Gel from Ren, which I really like. One pump will do both eyes, and I have no idea how much product I have left in it because it's that weird tube and you can't really tell. But I don't really need to use a tremendous amount of it. I just kind of put that under my eyes as you would an eye gel. Then I have a serum. Again, I have tons of serums I'm trying at the moment. Because it's daytime right now and I'm going to put some makeup on, I'm keeping my whole routine quite light. But I am going to show you in a second some products. I'm going to take you into my bedroom, show you some products that I might use if I was looking for a little bit of extra nourishment and nighttime routines. So, the one I'm using right now is the No. 7 Lift and Luminate Day Serum, which I really like. But like I say, I don't use a serum during the day all that much. I have a couple that I like. This one and the L'Oreal, what is it called? Perfect Skin. I really like that one as well. These both are really great for sitting underneath makeup. Moisturiser wise, I haven't really strayed too far from this. I've gone and dabbled with other things and heavier night creams and stuff, but the Blissful Daily Moisturiser from Organic Surge is my all-time favourite. It's very, very light, again hydrating, but not too heavy at all. I use this at night time because my skin is quite oily, but I use just a little bit, not too much, because like I say, it is a day and I will be putting on some makeup in a little bit. So now, let's go into the bedroom and I'll show you some other stuff that I might use if it wasn't the daytime right now. The first thing is this Sanctuary Lipid Recovery Facial Oil. Smells really nice, smells quite invigorating, but I like to massage this into my skin. I feel like it just makes everything a little bit plumper, and when it's really grey and so a bit dull, I feel like this kind of brings my face back to life a little bit. Plus, obviously, it's an oil, and so it is very nourishing, hydrating, or kind of, you know, moisturising on my skin. The second product that I might use would be, again, from the Sanctuary. The Sanctuary is featuring heavily here. The Power Peptide Serum. And this is a really nice one. Look how funky the packaging is. This is a really nice one as well, quite light. It all depends on how I feel. I will either use a serum or I'll use an oil. If my skin is kind of, I feel like it might break out, or it's just generally feeling normal, then I will use a serum, and this is the one I'm using at the moment. Nothing particularly special about this one, it's just what I'm using right now. And if my skin is feeling particularly dry, or I feel like it just needs a little bit of a pick-me-up, then I will use an oil. The last two products that I would switch in, the Sanctuary Peptide, again, Repair Eye Cream. I love this. This is such a thick cream. I use it obviously under my eyes, it's an eye cream, but it's just, I use quite a lot of it, and I just like dab it on and it just feels like I'm putting a mask on my eyes. And if they're really heavy or they're tired or just a little bit dry, whatever, and again I feel like I need a pick-me-up, then this is the thing that I try. And then this really isn't something I switch out. I use this every single night, and it's the Reve de Miel lip balm from NUXE, which is incredible. It's, if you've never seen it before, it looks like this. It's kind of matte. I'll show you a bit on my lips because I'm always talking about it, but it's not really ever appropriate to put it on because I'm, you know, I have lipstick on probably. But I put quite a lot of it on. And it is like a mask. Don't talk and put lip balm on. You can see it's not glossy, and it's left a layer over my lips. It's nothing like anything else I've tried. It smells like oranges, maybe chocolate oranges, I can't decide. And it just is great for this time of year where you need kind of a barrier if you're out in the cold weather, but you also need something to treat your lips, and it's an overnight miracle for my dry lips at the moment. So yeah, that is my entire skincare routine. I have masks and things I flip in now and then, but nothing that makes it into my permanent rotation. Maybe the, again, Sanctuary thermal mask. I probably use that one most of all. I'd say that once that's gone I will repurchase it, whereas the other ones not so much. But I don't even use it all that much anymore. But if I had to repurchase just one, it would be that one. But that's it. That's everything that I use. That's kind of my daily routine or my evening routine. And I switch out things depending on whether I'm looking for something heavier or lighter. And that is everything I use. So hopefully this was useful. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Bit of a different format, different places that I'm filming from. But this is kind of how I do my skincare.